was teaching at UW-Madison in their art department. I was teaching a modern art history or contemporary art class, and it was at the end of the semester, and I was exhausted, and so I thought, okay, I'm going to invite all the other studio professors to come in and talk about their own work. And only a couple of them took me up on the offer, and Truman was one of them. And his work was just, it just really captured my imagination. And the way he spoke about it was also mesmerizing. So then we really started talking about doing a publication of some sort. So I did a magazine article, and then we decided to work on a book. And I thought it was only going to take me a year or two, but it ended up taking 10, and now I'm on 5 more years. So it was in the 1990s, and in art history, in the discipline of art history, there was suddenly this awareness that artists of color were not represented in museums and in art history textbooks, that kind of thing. And so I was teaching about artists of color and making a difference. It was one of the courses that I taught. And it just sort of came, Truman felt the same way, that it was, he said, it's time for a monograph or a book about a single artist. And so it was not about ego for him. He was so low key and so humble. It was really thinking about the history of contemporary Native American art and sort of starting to have a dialogue about that was most important to him. And his Ho-Trunk heritage. So his parents were basket makers and bead workers, and so he really revered their creativity and their knowledge, their deep knowledge of the environment, where, for example, they got the splint plat ash bands for the baskets they made. So there was that, and then moving water. He said moving water was what interested him the most, and a lot of his work is about moving water. Wood was his favorite medium, and he worked both in milled lumber, or with milled lumber, and also he harvested willow, so from marshy areas. And he would then harvest it and then create sculptures out of this dried willow branches and twigs. He once said, if I do anything, it's that I simplify too much. He was always looking for the essence of something, for the most simple statement. And yet in that simple statement, exactly as Patricia said, there were all these layers of meaning and possibility. So that was really the exciting part, that this elegant, minimalist kind of art carried all these stories and all these layers. To his students, he truly supported them through their education, and he opened doors for so many of them by being so supportive and caring, and then continuing to follow their careers after they left the university. So that's one thing. And then the other thing I think is just drawing attention. As a curator and as an artist, he drew attention to contemporary Native American art as kind of a realm in and of itself that needed attention, that deserved attention. If he was a wonderful artist and teacher, he was an even better human being. He was so generous and so giving to his students, to everybody. He had a sense of humor. He was truly a wonderful human being.